Hi everybody. This is going to be the third part of what I think is going to be a three-part series on my new Chromebook that I bought. First time buying a Chromebook ever. Always had really negative interpretations, negative opinions of them, but ever since I've got it, I think that they definitely have a place, and so I've learned a few things about it. I'll take you through some of that now. All right, so one of the first things I've learned is how to do screen recording like this with that little window of myself in the corner. So isn't that great? You can see me while I'm talking about the Chromebook. Maybe the first thing that I did, and one of the main reasons I wanted a Chromebook that had this feature, is I've added an SD card. So for $30, right, I can buy a good SD card that holds 256 gigabytes of information. Now, it's not quite the same as onboard storage, obviously. It doesn't, you can't install apps on it really and run them, but for storing other files, it's good, and it's a heck of a lot cheaper than paying for onboard storage. The equivalent, there aren't even that many Chromebooks, I don't think, that have 256 gigabytes of storage. So I've done that. So please, I would say, I really think it would be great if manufacturers would give us SD card slots in our phones, in our tablets, in our PCs, because they're very handy and very economical for storage now. So that's the one thing. So I've done that. I guess while I've got this window open, you can use Microsoft on a Chromebook. You can use Microsoft apps, and I have access to my OneDrive here as well. So that's just logged in, and I have access to this OneDrive just like I would anywhere else. So it works just great on a Chromebook. The other thing is Microsoft 365. So if I go over here, and I'll use my little button here. So I've got Microsoft 365 here, and it loads up. And of course everything's Copilot now, because darn it, we're going to use AI whether we want to or not. But anyways, yeah, so Copilot comes up, and then of course I've got access to all the normal apps, and this is running on the Chromebook. I mean, it's basically Microsoft 365, right? But this allows me to do anything that I would want to do with Microsoft apps. So that's perfect there too. Looking at augers. So there's that. The multiple accounts thing. So I talked about this before. The way that I had it set up before was that I had two accounts logged in at the same time, and then there's like a quick switching feature that you can quickly switch back and forth. The problem with that was the one account that I have is with a volunteer organization that I work with, and it's through Google Workspace, and it kind of locks down the whole. If you have both of those accounts logged in at the same time, it kind of locks down the whole Chromebook to a certain extent, and I didn't want that. So basically what I've done is I've switched it now so that if I want to switch to my other account, I just sign out and I switch. And it's set up with a PIN code. Like it doesn't take very long, and for the number of times that I actually have to switch back and forth, this works a lot better. This lets me do anything I want here on this personal account. So there's that as well. So another thing is, one of the things that it allows me to do is to have the App Store here. So you can, there's a couple of different app stores really. There's the Play Store here. So this allows you to, I guess this is something that Google added a number of years ago. You can install Android apps onto the Chromebook. And some of them are optimized to be on the Chromebook, some of them aren't. And it kind of, some of them are an example that I had here was, so I'm just going to do a search. So I'm going to do the Weather Network app. The Weather Network app, and I'm in Canada, so this is just an example. So let me install the Weather Network app. So this installs it on the Chromebook. It's a Android app. It's not really optimized. Well, I should say it's not really optimized for the Chromebook, but it does work on the Chromebook. So we're just going to install this here, and when it comes up, I will show you. So there we go. So we're going to open it. Okay, so as you can see, it's an Android app, right? So it comes up and it looks kind of like you're on a phone, assuming it's on like an Android phone. So it's loading up here, I guess. I'm going to enter location manually because I'm not sure that it has access to my location here. Skip notifications for now because I'm just going to uninstall this. So I'm going to put Toronto, Ontario, not Toronto, Ohio. Okay, so there you go. So this is running like an app on a phone, and you can also switch it to landscape as if you've flipped your phone on its side or you're looking at it on a tablet. And you can also, for some of these apps, you can allow it to resize, so it'll be like full screen. And as it says, it gives you this little warning that it may not act exactly like you expect it to. But okay, that isn't what I wanted. So I got it resizable. And this does actually work because I tried this before. So as you can see, it resizes nicely. So this now looks like it fits on the Chromebook perfectly, right? There are some apps that don't work that way. It'll only give you that little phone-style interface. So, kind of a negative there. But I mean, the fact is, this is an Android app, and I'm able to run it on my Chromebook. So I mean, that really opens up a lot of different possibilities to install things. I'm going to uninstall that because I don't want it. So that's the Google Play Store, right? So it's just like you'd expect. It gives you access to basically all the apps that you could get through the Play Store. There's also another store, which is like sort of down here, this apps and games store, which is like for Chromebook optimized apps, which are really designed to, or have been ported over to the Chromebook, and the developers have made the right changes, I guess, to make it work properly on here. So that Microsoft 365 app that I have, which is down here, is one of those. There's others, DocuSign, TikTok, whatever. I don't know how TikTok would be optimized for a laptop, but anyways, it is. Canva, like all this other stuff is here, and I use quite a few of these apps, just the way that they are. So that's good. These are like your Chrome optimized apps, games, etc. And so that's all there as well. So, like I say, I've been using this now for a number of weeks. Got very familiar with it, and I'm pretty happy with my purchase. Again, looking at augers here. This is a pretty good laptop for what I need it for, which is basically just browsing the web, doing some light work, maybe a little bit of word processing, a little bit of spreadsheets. So many of the apps and things that I work with now are web-based anyways, that I don't know, I think that Chromebooks are kind of coming into their own now, where they can really be a regular person's laptop. If you're going to get into, I can see if you're going to get into developing and stuff like that, it does have Linux developer mode on here. I'm resisting the urge to start that up because I have enough things to do. I don't need a new hobby of doing Linux development on my my Chromebook, but it's possible, and you can install and run Linux apps. And there are that's through the Crostini, I guess they call it, the official way of doing it through Google. And there are unofficial ways that you can install Linux on, or access Linux on here. I guess it's a Linux-based operating system anyways, but you can actually run a Linux distribution on your Chromebook. So, for me, but what I'm saying is for a normal person who isn't interested in any of that sort of stuff, it's not even a question, honestly. I think a Chromebook's a great choice. The one thing that I think is really in its favor is just the lack of viruses. I don't really worry about that at all on here. If it is very secure in that sense, and like I say, it does everything that I think a regular person wants to do with a laptop. Other than gaming, I haven't tried gaming. That would be, I guess the question would be, do regular people do gaming? I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I think a lot of people don't do gaming on a laptop or gaming at all. So, and for me, I have access to, a gaming PC if I need it. That's, way beyond the capabilities of any laptop anyways. So, like I say, I think this is the end of my 3-part series. I hope this is helpful to somebody. I think what I'm trying to accomplish with this is just show, for a regular guy, look at a Chromebook. This I guess is very, very bottom of the rung Chromebook. This was $250 Canadian, all inclusive. So if you want, you can spend $1,000 or more on them, and you'd have more power and you'd have more storage. I'm sure that's good for somebody. I would never question anybody if they wanted to do that, but I think for an average person, just your inexpensive Chromebook like this is going to be good and satisfy your needs. So anyways, any questions, comments, ask me down below, but I hope this has been useful to some people. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.